Boy, howdy. Where do I start with this? Okay, first off, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to explain why. So last game, I felt Thatcher Demko was the reason Vancouver wins. Now, tonight, he makes more saves. And Kelly Rudy's already suggesting that because tomorrow night is Game 7, maybe they'll go with Louis Domingue. No. Are you kidding me? Yeah, you stay with Demko. I know he's tired. I know he's exhausted. You can't go with Louis Domingue in the Game 7. I know it's 2020 and crazy things happen, but it's Demko's net. Now, the small board's coming out again. Not because of overtime. There wasn't overtime. But because after Game 4, there were a lot of things said by many people, myself included, where after Game 4, they lost 5-3. They had that lead going to the third period, and then it fell apart, and it felt like it was all done. So the comment section on that video for the Game 4 review, I mentioned how there weren't very many teams doing well when they were down and on the verge of elimination. A comment was made, if you're down 3-1, and you've been stuck in a hotel for a month and a half, losing Game 5 doesn't seem like it's quite as bad an option as if you were playing at home before packed crowds. We as fans, we really don't know. We don't. And the players that are in the bubble, that are playing, clearly feel they're playing for a Stanley Cup. That this isn't just some mamby-pamby tournament that they don't care about. The effort is there. The hockey's been great. And it's funny because they even had an article on Sportsnet where they were talking to NHL scouts and saying, what's the hockey been like? And the scouts are like, oh, they're skating really well. And it's like it's December out there. They're so fresh. And yeah, we as fans can tell. We have eyeballs. So I will say this. There were a lot of comments in that after that game. It's not over till it's over. A lot of them. Vegas is just better in every way. And it was a Canuck fan that left that comment. And a whole bunch of reasons as to why Vegas was better. You know what would be funny? If Vancouver had a miracle and beat Vegas the next 3 games. Well, they've won 2. And then the Canucks are too small and weak for playoff hockey. So, again, have they won? No. Last game, I had a tiny Canucks magnet. Well, tiny-ish compared to that one, which I just got today. And I got the decal today, and then I turned it into a magnet tonight and threw it on the board and thought, they're down 3-2. I'm not jinxing them. But I don't have Demko's written on the board because while the shots are vastly in favor, tremendously in favor of Vegas, this may sound crazy. I thought Vancouver played a good game. I did. I honestly thought Vancouver played a good game. I thought they were playing with fire on the penalty kill too many times in this game, but in general, I thought they played really well. Besser had a really good game. Horvat had a solid game. Pettersson was fantastic. He's not on the board, but he was fantastic. Not with a goal anyways. I thought it might have been Besser's best game that he's had since, I'll say, the Minnesota series. I thought Stetcher played really well. I thought Edler played well with the shot blocking. I thought that Tanev had a really solid game. I did. And even though Vancouver allows a ton of shots, I really thought they played one of the best games they have in the entire series. I know, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Leonard versus Demko, and we can have the debate over Robin Leonard, but like Kevin BX has said, it doesn't matter who your goaltender is if you don't get a goal. They have 1 goal in their last 2 games. The goaltender doesn't matter when you have 1 goal in your last 2 games. Vegas starts with the 4th line. They start that way every game. Every game is the 4th line that starts things out. Leonard was tested early. Good jump for the Canucks. I thought the Canucks played well right out of the gate. And then it's Mott to Virtanen, and Virtanen with a nice little wraparound into the net. And at 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Vancouver gets the first goal they've had from their bottom 6 in the series. So Virtanen, who I also thought had a good game tonight as well, and Mott. There you go. Pacioretty then takes a penalty. The Canucks go to the power play. Now, really, the penalty kill was pretty good by Vegas. They get a couple of chances, and Smith had a really good chance shorthanded that was denied by Demko. So that's something the Canucks might want to clean up going into tomorrow night's game. Schmidt had a chance that was stopped. Vegas were recovering from what was a slow start. So Vancouver jumped on him early, and then Vegas just kind of takes over for the rest of the period. Horvat takes a penalty. Vegas' first power play of what would be a lot. Evenly played game at 15 minutes. And I thought it was the Canucks' best first period of the series. I did. Even though they would go 14 plus minutes without a shot at the end of that period. And it was 13 plus at the time where they put it up underneath the score, like over 13 minutes since the Canucks shot. And I thought, this just feels weird because I think they've played well. And maybe I'm so conditioned to Vegas having dominance with the puck that I'm like, you know what? This is okay. This is fine. Fine. The dog in the house on fire. Fine. Sure. Maybe that's what it is. Fantenberg takes a penalty at the end of the period. Again, I keep waiting for Vegas' power play to really take over a game. It didn't happen tonight. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Second period, 3 of the last 4 periods, Canucks have gone extended periods of time without a shot. So more than half of the first and second period in the last game. And then tonight, they had all the shots in the first 5 minutes or 5.5 minutes. And then they didn't get anything for the next 14.5. So bizarre. Strong start by Vegas. And I thought now the Canucks started leaning on Demko. But clearing rebounds, blocking shots, that was going on tonight as well. Vegas had a 2-on-1 that was broken up. And this is one of those things where Vegas would get these quick breaks. And the Vancouver defense would break it up or make sure that Demko could see the shot. And that Demko didn't have to worry about a rebound if Demko didn't smother it himself. Whitecloud had a chance that missed high. Besser playing defense in this game. Besser's been criticized for being a one-note player and for being, at times I've seen him called selfish, I've seen him called lazy, I've seen him called a lot of things. I don't have a Brock Besser jersey that I'm wearing right here because I agree with any of that. I think Besser's young, I think he's learning, and I think these playoffs have been a huge learning experience for Brock Besser. So, him coming back and playing defense and really sort of he's becoming that two-way forward. Pettersson's done it. Of course, we know Horvat does it, but Pettersson, it's been inspiring to watch how this kid comes back and plays defense. And it says great things about the Canucks' future if you can keep that core together. Now, the Canucks were finally generating shots. Vegas was also putting traffic in front of Demko when they got their chances. Vegas understood it. It was going to have to be a dirty one to get past Demko. Demko, if he could see it, he was stopping it tonight. Carrier takes a penalty. The Canucks get a power play. Good, aggressive Vegas penalty kill. Their penalty kill is pretty solid, pretty impressive. And so for Vegas, they kept the Canucks off the board. Stastny then nearly scored on a bad Canucks giveaway. And that was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, stop that. Don't be doing that. Don't give Stastny those chances. Edler then got a delay of game call, and it's another power play for Vegas. The shots were 10-5 for Vegas. 13 minutes in, Demko really was becoming the story in that second period. Demko was kind of single-handedly making sure Vegas stays off the board. At times, Myers then takes a penalty, and I felt the Canucks really needed to stop taking penalties. And again, I'm not piling on Myers. Myers had a good game. He had some good shifts. Yes, he took a penalty, but I didn't feel like it was anywhere near what we were seeing against Minnesota. So good game for Myers. No shade being thrown by this guy. I thought he played well. Smith hits a post, and then out of the penalty box, Sutter spots Myers and sends him away in a breakaway. If that had gone in, I'd still be cheering. It didn't. Leonard saves it, but great play. Really good anticipation by Sutter on that play. Vegas was getting pressure and chances late. Couldn't score. So we go to the third period, and it's still 1-0 in favor of Vancouver. Early Vegas pressure. And then it just a harmless play. Hughes brings it into the zone, passes off to Miller. And it's a goal. It's a goal. Now, Pettersson was screening on that goal. So here's where I know there are going to be people who want to say, well, you have to go with Fleury. If Fleury's in net, that goal goes in too, because Leonard never saw it. Pettersson with a beautiful screen in front of the net. Besser then was pushing for another. Stastny hooked Pettersson on the play. So Stastny ends up taking a penalty. And it was a good penalty because I really thought Vancouver was going to generate another goal. And this is why I'm saying this felt different than other games where they were badly outshot because they're still getting prime chances. They're still getting really good chances. And their top players were their best players offensively tonight. The Canucks get a power play that they can't get set up. Stone had a break that was denied by Demko. Stone, very frustrated by the end of this game. Stone, and I'm telling you, Demko's definitely in their heads. I swear to God, if I hear tomorrow, well, they're going to put in Demko and Keeley's going to be the backup. Just no. 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 It's a game 7. Just give Demko an IV that you sit on top of the net and just get him going. Man. Big saves for Demko when he was minus his stick. I felt Vegas was getting too many chances, but twice Demko without a stick was making saves. He's not the first goalie I've seen do that. There have been goaltenders in history that it looks like they intentionally give up the stick to make saves. And as terrifying as it could be as a fan, when a guy's that confident and he doesn't get flustered by losing his stick, it can be inspiring to watch. So, big saves for Demko. Pettersson then had a one-timer that went wide. Virtanen gets a breakaway, and Leonard saved. And it was a 2-on-0 of Virtanen. Believe Mott was the other one on that one. Mott had another good game. And Virtanen, that was almost his second goal. Stetcher and Cousins then decided to hug. They get a penalties for roughing. I didn't actually see punches in that, though. I guess there were punches thrown. To me, it just looked like they were hugging. Referee's like, knock it off. No, we like each other. This is our personal bubble. And the referee decided to break up their little bubble, which is a shame. It's a shame because it's their bubble within the bubble, right? So, to Stetcher and Cousins, I hope that didn't ruin your evening. Hughes then ruined some evenings in Vegas by scoring from Miller in Tanev at 8:16. And my God, what a beautiful goal by Hughes. And again, who's in front of the net? Elias Pettersson. Elias Pettersson is standing in front of the net, and there's no way Leonard saw it. Twice in a row, he is standing exactly where he needs to be, and those goals go in. And this might have been Pettersson's best game of the series, even though he's not on the score sheet, because he screened on 2 plays where if Leonard had seen those shots, I think he saves them. He didn't see him. He didn't save him. Smith then had a chance that landed on the net and then dribbled off. Miller takes a penalty. Vegas gets their 5th power play, and the Canucks killed it. And the Canucks penalty kill tonight was really, really solid. And it's inspiring when it's that good. Goaltender pull with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left, which I totally get. They were down by 3, so you need to get one early. 10th goal of the playoffs for Bo Horvat from Pearson and Edler at 15:22. Pearson probably could have got that empty netter. Throws it over to the captain. And Besser, Horvat, Hughes. There's some really great games going on in this one. And at 15:22, an empty netter for Horvat, which is his reward after what was an excellent, excellent game by Bo Horvat. I mean, Miller had the goal and the assist. Hughes had a goal and an assist. Nothing taken away from them. And then it felt like Demko just kept getting better as the game went along. This is why, yes, I understand he's probably exhausted. I guarantee he's exhausted. But if you ask Demko, and they didn't ask him, but if you ask Demko, at least they didn't ask him in what I was watching the post game from CBC/Sportsnet. But I guarantee you, if you ask Demko right now, do you feel like you can play tomorrow night? His answer is not going to be, no, I'm tired. I think I'll sit out. It could be the last game of the year. Or it could get them into the next round against Colorado or Dallas. He's playing. Virtanen then was down by McNabb. It was a clean hit. Not going to say it wasn't. It was a clean hit. It was an awkward hit. And Virtanen was slow to get up, but he got up. And after this game, he was smiling when he went over to Demko, so I think he's okay. Last minute, Cousins takes a penalty, which caused me to cheer. Why? Because Demko gets the shutout. And honestly, folk hero status is achieved in Game 5. Legendary, let's put a statue outside of Rogers status is achieved by the win in Game 6. It doesn't matter what happens in Game 7. If Vegas comes out tomorrow night and they win 6-1, that'd be an absolute shame. But nothing is going to take the shine off of this one for Canucks fans tonight. We were told after Game 1 the Canucks are against a real team now. Canucks are going to get swept. This series is going to be over quickly. And hey, I agreed that they were up against it. And if Markstrom wasn't going to be able to steal this series, I didn't see any way that they would get to a Game 6 or a Game 7. But the fight back they showed in Game 2, the fight back they showed in Game 5 via Demko, because they only had 17 shots. But tonight they had more shots. They had better shots. They were forcing more turnovers. And tonight's just, it's one of those nights that we're going to remember for a long time as Canuck fans. So the shots in this game favored Vegas the whole way. 10-8 in the first, which again I thought was a very good period for Vancouver. 17-7 in the second, which I thought was the worst period for Vancouver of this game. In the third, Vegas has 22 shots. 8 shots for Vancouver, and I thought it was a pretty good period for Vancouver. And that a lot of those shots from Vegas, it felt like were from the outside, and it was just trying to pepper the net and try to get anything to go through Demko. Final shots, 48-23 for Vegas. Hits were 41-26 for Vegas. They were hitting. So again, Vancouver, if they don't get a lot of hits, they tend to win games. Yeah, I don't get it either. But, and again, if somebody wants to go, well, they didn't have the puck. There have been plenty of games where they haven't had the puck very much, and they've still had a lot of hits. So power plays were the story tonight for Vegas. They went 0 for 5. For Vancouver, 0 for 3. If Vegas gets any traction on that power play, 1 for 5 or 2 for 5, we have a whole different game. It didn't happen. Your 3 stars were Demko, Miller, and Hughes. So all Vancouver. Leonard, 19 saves on 22 shots. This should be, 19 saves on 22 shots because shot 23 is the empty netter. Demko saves all 48. Here's how far back you have to go to find a rookie goaltender that wins back-to-back games 1 and 2 in their playoff career in elimination situations. And that's 1953. Jacques Plante was the last one that did that. So from Jose Theodore to Jacques Plante. Again, a folk hero is born. And interestingly enough, when you look at the stats, Theodore's a -3 in this game. Tanev's a +3. Chris Tanev, again, he gets an assist tonight. He's a +3. He is that solid defensive anchor. And I have said if the Canucks could find any way to keep him in their lineup, next year, he's a UFA once we reach the offseason. They need to find a way to keep him. I have not changed my mind on any of it. And I still believe that if they can keep Markstrom, that'd be great as well. But Demko tonight, he's earned the right to be protected. And if the Canucks losing Markstrom in a year to Seattle happens, based on what we've seen in the last couple of games, and based on what we saw during most of his regular season run, Demko's good. Demko wore down as things progressed while Markstrom was out. But he's been fantastic in this series. He's just not allowing goals. He's allowed 1 goal against the Vegas Golden Knights on 95 shots. 95 shots, they have 1 goal. Game 7 is tomorrow. That short turnaround to me favors the team with the momentum, which is Vancouver, but we'll see. Either way, I could not be prouder. I did a dance after Game 5. I didn't really do one tonight. I just the pride. And once that 4th goal went in, I was already kind of celebrating as it was because I knew it was over. Then it was just a matter of whether or not he gets the shutout. And he gets the shutout. This is a good story. And we have a Canadian team in a Game 7 of Round 2. And tomorrow night they have a chance to move on. So this game will be at 6 o'clock. For those on the West Coast, for those on the East Coast, that'll be 9 o'clock. The Colorado-Dallas game starts at 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 o'clock Eastern. Technically, there's always the possibility that Dallas and Colorado takes a while and it pushes this game back. I'm hoping not, because honestly, again, we can look at Demko and talk about how tired he is and how he may not have enough energy for tomorrow. I disagree. I think coming out of this amazing performance tonight, the adrenaline will still be going tomorrow, and knowing it's a Game 7 situation, man, this Canucks team has gained so much experience, and it's been so much fun to watch. This is a happy camper tonight. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. And do hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And yeah, I'm still standing. I was singing it, dancing to it a little bit as the game counted down. And especially once Cousins took that penalty in the last minute. So thank you, Nick Cousins. You took all the stress out of it for me. And those last 15 seconds where the Canucks had it behind their net and they were congratulating Demko on the shutout. And they made sure he got the puck. Just amazing. Thank you guys for all the support. I will talk to you again soon.